Okay, welcome everybody. I know like I said, we still have some people hopping on. I know it's a little bit in the afternoon after lunchtime, so we are definitely recording for those who can't get on. But I am so excited, y'all, to have Emily Roberts with us today. She's been so gracious. There she is. I thought I lost her for a second. To give up her time this afternoon to share some social media tips with her. And I don't know if you guys follow her already on Instagram, but if you don't, her handle is official Emily Roberts, or at officially Emily Roberts. So you can go follow her so you can see what she's all about. I feel like most of you on here already follow her, so that's not a problem. But I just want to tell a real quick story real quick. Emily probably doesn't even remember this, but I lived in Virginia back when I first started Plexus, and I lived in Stafford, and I had no idea who Emily Roberts was. I don't know really who anybody was, but I think I was senior Ruby, and I was, getting ready to go Emerald, and someone told me about Emily, and it just so happened we actually went to the same church. Never saw her, never, but I actually went to a training of yours. I don't know if you even remember that, Emily, and like in a Mexican restaurant or something. You had like a training there. Yeah, I was there. And I was just really impressed the way you just brought people together, and the fact that I messaged you and you messaged me right back. So I was like, oh, wow. Okay, that was really cool. Because I'd seen your Lexus somewhere in town, took a picture of it and sent it to somebody, and they were like, that's Emily Roberts. And I was like fangirling, I was super excited. And now I have my own Lexus. So that was just really like a super exciting moment for me. And so you probably don't even remember any of that, but I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to her and let her just tell us all the things.
Well, hey, everybody. That is a sweet story. I do remember that. We used to meet at this Mexican restaurant once a month. Oh, no. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Brandy was like, no. Okay, just checking. We used to meet at this Mexican restaurant once a week, once a month. And sometimes it was just ambassadors. Sometimes potentials would stop eating dinner and just pop their head in to see what we were talking about. I did the same presentation and I got good at it, because if you're not consistent, you're not going to get good. And I wanted to get good at this Plexus thing because I saw the vision beyond a Plexus Lexus, beyond the pink drink. Like, I wanted to create generational legacy wealth for my family. I wanted a private education for my kids. Like, I wanted some things, and I knew that Plexus could help me get those things, but I had to make a plan and then work the plan. And a huge part of the plan is social media. It is a free resource and tool for you to learn and get things from, but also add value and pour into potentials, or even your team members. And so I have some notes and some little things you'll see me looking down that I just want to make sure I hit on, because I love social media and a lot of you don't. And that's okay, but you can get there. You can make it a habit. You can make it a part of your business plan, no matter your age. Whether you're 18 or 88, I have seen all walks of life use social media to add value, to give wisdom back to the world, because some of you are a lot older than me, and I'm going to learn some amazing things from you. And then I'm a lot younger than some of you. And so you're going to get things from me that you probably would have never even thought of. And that's what I love about the different ages and the way that social media works, is because we're all looking for something, and you can find that usually on social media. So Bob Heilig has a great podcast where he talks about social media. And so if you're looking for additional resources as outside of Plexus people, I think that Bob Heilig is a great resource. His last name is Heilig. You can find him on Instagram as well as like the Apple podcasts. But Bob is just so great at reminding you to be transformational in your business and not just transactional, because this is sales. And it's important to keep those relationships at the forefront. So, Emily, how do I build relationships through social media? Well, you got to show up. A lot of you have social media accounts that you are not leveraging to your max potential, and it shows, because you're not where you are, because you're not boldly posting, you're not boldly starting conversations. And the reason why we don't do that is just a lack of knowledge, a lack of information, or maybe a lack of clarity. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what your next rank is. You don't know what the company specials are, right? So there could be some things, some missing pieces that you might need. And when you know these things, it creates clarity. And then that gives that skill of confidence some support. So then you know where you're headed. So when I think about social media, I think about content. Y'all have all heard that word before, right? Content. Content is the reels you see on Instagram, the posts you see on Facebook and in Facebook groups, the TikTok videos. Like, we absorb content all the time. And what you are looking at and absorbing is going to directly reflect in your Plexus business. So if you are watching for pleasure instead of personal growth, you're not learning anything new to go add value back to your audience, and vice versa. If you're using social media to let your brain go to mush and to be pleasured and entertained, okay, that's fair, that's great. But some of you have money to make and bills to pay and dreams to go get. And this can be such a great stepping stone to get you to that next goal if you use it correctly and as a business tool, not a pleasure tool. Because here's what happens. You are pumped up. You just left a Plexus event, or you just had a Zoom call with your leaders and you're like, let's go. I'm so pumped. And you're like, I'm going to make a reel about this and what I just learned. And then you go and you open the app to whatever social media platform you're using. And there's a cute little cat video, and the cat is sitting on a Roomba and it's going in circles and it's so funny. And then you watch another one. And then you watch another one. And then there's like a cowboy doing a dance, and you're like, there's all these videos, and you get lost in the scroll and the swipe instead of, what was I doing again? How am I adding value to my audience? Right? Okay. So how do we stop the scroll? How do we get intentional about this? Well, exactly that. You have to get intentional. It has to be a part of your plan, your daily habits. Your habit right now is to open the app and be entertained. Tell your brain, I don't need to be entertained. I need to make an income and an impact. So I'm opening this app to make an impact, not to be entertained. And so once you have made your impact, you have done your daily dues. Maybe it's posting, making a reel, engaging with some comments, or messaging boldly the people that you want on your team, that you want a vacation with, because you're going Emerald. And when you go Emerald, you go on lots of trips, right? So who do you want to do this business with? Those are the people you're talking to. You're not talking to everybody. You're talking to somebody. Who is that somebody that you are talking to on Instagram? How old are they? Are they male? Are they female? Are they 60? Are they 18? Like, who are they? Who are you talking to? What do they like? Do they like the things you like? Are they ambitious? Are they goal-oriented? Do they work a 9-to-5 right now? Are they self-starters? I think it's so important that we know who we're talking to, so that when we're making our content, we're not just talking to ourselves. I think a lot of us like selfishly post because, that famous line, preaching to the choir. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but not everyone is going to think the way that you think. And a lot of you have been in Plexus for a long time, and there are still some people that are still skeptical. And so they just need more from you. One of my favorite resources when it comes to creating content, talking to people, follow-up messages, whatever, is a book by Phil Jones called Exactly What to Say. It's a cheapy book. You can get it on Amazon. You can listen to it on Audible. He's British. He sounds like Harry Potter. It's fantastic. You're going to love it. Get the book. And then use what you learn in the book. It's a short read. He just gives you these, he calls them magic words. They're little phrases that you can interject into your conversations that you're already having to turn that ship around, get the sale, develop the business builder, make the content, whatever it is. Okay. Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones. And a big part of the content that I'm creating right now, I know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to moms. They're in the thick of it with me. They have kids that are in elementary and middle school. They're tired and they're sick of it. They want more out of their life. Maybe they want to provide private education or extra time to homeschool. Maybe they want to retire in their 50s instead of their 70s. Maybe they like getting their nails done and they need some extra cash flow for that because it's expensive to breathe air right now. Am I right? Like, it's just expensive. So I know who I'm talking to when I go to make a post. And have y'all noticed, I have not yet once said, I'm going to make a Plexus post. I'm going to make a gut health post. No, that's just a part of my life now. It's not me, but it's a part of me. And so when I'm making content, I'm always talking to moms. And so if you follow me, you've probably seen a pattern lately. I've tried to clean it up a bit, but almost every single post or video says, "Hey moms," because that's the attention that I want. If you're a mom, let's be friends. I'm going to turn your life around from sick and tired to a paycheck with a comma. You're going to believe in yourself and you're going to feel the best you've ever had in years. I boldly and confidently know I can offer that to somebody. So I want you to take about a minute and write down, what can you confidently say you offer people? Sarcasm and wit? Are you super smart and know everything you need to know about biology and gut health and how your large intestine works in the body? Like, what do you offer people? What wisdom? And it doesn't even have to be plexus related. Maybe you studied law. Maybe you're a financial advisor. Maybe you're in the medical field. Maybe you're a grandma. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Just with no shadow of a doubt, if I were to be like, I need advice with, boop, fill in the blank. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in our plexus businesses that we think we are plexus, and we are not. And so what happens is you go on social media to make the post or the reel, and then you're like, imposter syndrome city. I'm not pretty enough, old enough, young enough, smart enough, educated enough. I can't. And then you don't. Or you avoid. Well, my friend, avoidance is still an action. So you can either be an action that makes the needle move forward and get you closer to your next rank up or helps your level 1 rank up, or you can avoid and be in the avoidance action where your business is neglected. You don't know where you're going. You don't know which foot to put in front of the other. I've been there. I've been in both situations. A lot of you are leading your businesses with emotion. And I think there's a difference between emotion and passion, because emotions are so fleeting, right? Especially us women. I can like literally be 2 different people in 30 minutes. And my husband's like, are you good? Who are you? And I'm like, listen, I was having a moment earlier, but we back. And sometimes that shows up in our social media too. And I think it is important to be authentic, but don't lead with emotion. Lead with intention. This post is intended to educate. This post is intended to inspire. This post is intended to be a reminder so that when I log into social media, I see what I wrote and I meant it. I don't post things I don't mean or do myself. Right? So I hope that kind of offers a little bit of clarity about like what we're doing with our content, like what we're doing. And here's the thing, how many of you right now, and it's okay, there's no shame here, are copying and pasting and just reusing content right now? Are you just in a season of copy and pasting? Okay. If you're up for it, Angela, in the chat, will you tell me why you feel like that's your go-to route right now for social media? Whether it's just, a lack of skill, confidence, it's easy, lack of creativity, like whatever. Tell me in the chat why that is your go-to route. And then somebody else commented there. Oh, Christy. Christy says, I can offer other women a life that does not depend on having a man to make you happy. I am a 66-year-old widow who is loving her single life out in the country with her family living next door. Girl, if that isn't your Instagram bio, it needs to be. Like, I'm a happily married woman, but like, round of applause, because that's amazing. And it's empowering and it's a great message. Because my mom is 56 and needs a woman like you to remind her of this. Love that. Love it. Angela, thank you for your honesty. She says, lack of creativity. How can Angela get her creativity juices a-flowing? There's no wrong answer. Put it in the chat. What do you think would help Angela get creative? Angela, what do you do what do you do for a living? What are your hobbies? Go ahead, you can put them in the chat. Shannon says, I copy and edit a lot due to time. I freeze every time I have to write anything. I'm scared to write my own stuff. Shannon, thank you for sharing that. I'm assuming, please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming that one, it's easy. When you have to write something yourself, you self-criticize and You're very critical of like what you're doing and what you're saying, and that would force you to be authentic. And with authenticity comes growth. So are we avoiding growth? Are we avoiding, because that's an action, are we avoiding what we want to say? Like, Shannon, don't you think the people you interact with on social media, and I'm assuming real life, don't you think they're gonna know you're copying and pasting? Like, I always joke about this with my team. I'm like, listen, if you're not the smart person in the room, don't pretend to be on social media, because people are going to see right through it. But instead, if you learn something new and you want to, present that information, I like to say, okay, so here's what I learned today. But because I'm a mom of 3 little kids, I'll say, let me just momsplain it how I understood it. And then I'll type it out through some sort of weird motherhood analogy that makes sense in my brain. Like, gut health is like a load of laundry, right? And I'll just make up some weird form of it. But other women relate to that because I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not a biologist. I didn't go to school for that. And I'm in the thick of it. Like, I got cartoons on and I got 3 kids saying my name every 5 minutes. So like my season of life is very busy too. And I have to remember sometimes like who I'm talking to. So Shannon, who are you talking to? Because that fearfulness, that hesitation, it's because you're trying to talk to everyone. Who is Shannon talking to? I'm very sarcastic and I'm afraid of offending someone. You go offend the unoffended. It does not matter. We live in such a weird world. Everybody offended for like people are offended for me and I did not ask them to be. So do it anyway. You show up because you believe in what you do and you are boldly looking for someone who is sarcastic and enjoys humor the way you do. You're not looking for the offended persons. They don't belong here. People do love sarcasm. Did you know that algorithm loves sarcasm? Freaking robot likes sarcasm. And that makes me laugh. Like literally thinking about a robot laughing, ha 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 ha. Like that makes me laugh because that's what the algorithm is. It's a robot. It's a computer that is telling like, oh, this girl looked at soccer. She wants all soccer stuff. Oh, she watched, one comedian that was sarcastic. Oh, send her the sarcasm. Like the algorithm likes sarcasm. I just think that's so funny. But anyways, Angela, thank you. I love going for walks. On my post, I do copy and paste. I've been coached to tweak the post to be more like me. Wonderful. Yes. And here's the thing. You're going to be in seasons where you do have to copy and paste sometimes, where you're just busy. And I get it. I created a board for my team that has 40 posts on social media for gut health and healthy living, the, healthy living club or whatever our swag says on it. Like, I get it. There's going to be times when a new person is overwhelmed, but they're excited and they want to jump all in, but they're like, what do I do? What do I say? So I have provided those things kind of like a Mad Lib, right? Where they fill in their own adjectives and verbiage, but it's getting the point out that they want, like, I'm learning about gut health. Here's what I've learned. I'm excited about it. So Angela, if you love going on walks, sorry, you guys, I got an eyelash in my eye. If you love going on walks, I foresee you posting about that. What does that walk mean to you? What can you share with others? Hey, did you know if you walk 7,000 steps a day, your cardiovascular health is going to be prolonged? Like, did you know that? 7 to 10,000 steps a day is now, there are statistics and numbers and data behind that. We're not just a bunch of weirdos looking at our watches to get steps in, okay? It's actually proven things. So talk about walking, add value, learn about something that you love. Walking outside in the sunshine and that morning sunshine is so important for melatonin production and for sleeping better at night. Like those are things that you can teach your audience. And here's the thing. I used to tell myself or talk myself out of posting, one, because I didn't want to come off as like a know-it-all. Anybody? Here's the thing. I'm the oldest of 4. I am a know-it-all. I've literally told my siblings my whole life, you don't know nothing. I'm smarter than you. So it's just followed me into adulthood. But I think now it's just turned into a skill of confidence. If I want to learn about something, I'm going to go do my research. I'm going to go read on it. I'm going to ask experts in it. And then I'm going to report back and momsplain it because I'm talking to moms. Angela, now I want to challenge you. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to other walkers? Are you talking to men? Are you talking to women? Are you talking to everybody? Like, who are you talking to? Christy, I love that. It's a great way for Angela to add value to her post. Absolutely. I think that sometimes we just overthink it. And it can be really simple, but we overthink and then we avoid. And unfortunately, that is an action. And we don't want to avoid. We want to do, right? All right, Marianne, I went from being a single mom for 20 years and married into a blended family for 6 years ago. I am not clear how to share this. Okay. I'm an overthinker for sure. That's all right. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. Critical thinking is a great thing. Maybe share about what you're thinking about on your walks. Just one topic. Today I had this thought. And like, give us some puzzle pieces. What's in that brain of yours, Angelo? Because some other people might have the same thought. It creates conversations, right? Okay, Marianne, let's go back to that. If I was talking about my life on social media, which you don't have to talk about that. I'm not clear unless you want to. I'm assuming you want to. That's why you said this in the chat. If you want to talk about what it's like to live with a blended family, I kind of avoided that. My mom remarried after I married Scotty and my husband. And so my siblings were in high school and then I was freshly out of college. So I didn't really have to live with that. It was already weird enough. I was 18 and she was dating. But I think bringing awareness and sarcasm and humor and joy to that God, y'all found each other and God provided that to you. I think that's a beautiful story. And that's a lot of America. That's a lot of the world, blended families, and their kids don't, like my siblings and our step siblings, they did not get along and it was ugly. And my mom did not have godly counsel or anybody to help her walk through that life. And they were all teenagers. Can you imagine? Lord have mercy. So I think that showing up on social media to encourage blended families. Hey, we got this. Hey, did anybody else's stepchildren argue with their blah, blah, blah? Like, you know what I mean? Like you can bring humor to it, but also some sort of resolution or value of like, hey, it's going to be hard in the beginning. And here's what I've learned. Here's 2 things I've learned, right? You don't have to be an expert, but technically you are because you live in it, right? Okay. If you struggle with content, there is on Pinterest, on Canva, on all these different resources. A lot of Diamonds and Plexus have like content you can subscribe to or utilize. All my stuff is out there. I mean, that's as free as resources come. So you're welcome to reuse or share or do what you need to do. But a content calendar will go a long way for you just to get your creative juices flowing. If you are in a habit of copy and paste right now, but you want to get more creative, you want to be more intentional with your voice.
I don't know what you chewed up.
You want to be more intentional with your voice, then I suggest a content calendar because it doesn't tell you exactly what to do. It gives you an idea to think about, and then you can get creative. Okay. And then I want you to think about the problems you can solve for people with your expertise and with Plexus, but more so with the friendship that you're like, this is relationship marketing, right? The people that you bring in, you don't just want to make a sale, right? Wipe the drool off your mouth. Okay. You're not desperate for a sale. I'm so excited. They said yes, they want to buy Plexus. Like, calm down, take a deep breath. We love that, but we're not desperate for it. We're more excited about a new relationship and showing them the community and the family and the values we have here at Plexus. And so that is why I think it's so important to think about your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, and who you're talking to when you do go to post on social media. So I wrote down who, why, objections they may have, relatable question mark. So who question mark, why question mark, objections, and then relatable. You can even, after relatable, you could do /shareable. If your post adds value, someone is going to share it or tag somebody on it that they feel needs to see it. If it is neither of those things, I need you to look at what you're posting and is it yay me or here's what I can do for you. Now, every now and then you're going to sweep a contest or earn a prize or whatever. That's fun. Those types of things, in my opinion, belong in your stories and your day-to-day, but your value, your personality, your sarcasm, those belong on your feed. Because if you are filling your funnel and having new relationships and meeting new people, they're going to see the meat and potatoes, which is your feed. They're not going to see your side salad. That's your stories. The stories disappear every 24 hours. So what are you feeding them? And a lot of you aren't going to post every day. But if you post quality content that can sit on your newsfeed for a minute and people can learn and process from it, and it's shareable and relatable, you will see that your engagement will change. Okay. And then the who and the why. So Plexus has solved problems for all of us: financial, mental, spiritual, health, like all types of things, right? So I want you to write down on the paper in front of you, because a lot of you are taking notes, write down 3 things, 3 problems Plexus has solved for you. It could be all health related. It could be extra money. It could be friendship and community. It could be mindset and personal growth. Like, what 3 little Plexus puzzle pieces fit into your story and it solved a problem for you? For example, when I joined Plexus, I knew a part of their comp plan, even though I refused to admit this to my girl that I signed up with, I knew in the comp plan, if I worked hard enough, I could earn a Plexus Lexus. I did not have a car. So you better believe I was going to move mountains to get to that level. I didn't know what jewel meant. I didn't know what emerald meant. I didn't know the names of any of the ranks. I just looked at numbers because I married a very numbers driven person who was constantly reminding me, like, you're spending more money on this Plexus than it's coming in. I was like, be patient, be patient. And y'all can watch my Diamond documentary. My husband's very, very skeptical, but I just remember looking at the numbers, and I knew based off the compensation plan, which now it's a little different because level 1s are 6 points, but I knew I needed a team and organization of 300 people with 100 PV. That was emerald points, 1,500 points. In other words, that looked like helping 15 different people get to gold. It looked like helping 30 people get to senior silver. I mean, we could play around with math all day. That's what I went to college for engineering, dropped out after I lost my professor and my grandmother in the same day. I'd never experienced death before. It's a different story for another day. But needless to say, I am here in Plexus for a reason, and that was not meant for me. But yay for playing with numbers in our comp plan. So here's the thing, you guys. What do you need in life right now? Like, desperately, like you would just like, I'll do anything for that. Is it a relationship? Is it a car? Is it a comma and a paycheck? What is it? And there's no right or wrong answer. What are you ambitiously going after? That is your why. It's not your babies. It's not your grandkids. It's not proving your husband or your wife wrong. It's not. Isn't it? It's the thing you're telling yourself right now in your brain that you don't want to speak out loud about yet. And so for me, it was a car. I didn't want to admit to the world I didn't have a car. We had to sell our car. We were broke. Scott deployed to Afghanistan. What did I need a car for? I wasn't going anywhere. Like, I needed a car. And if I didn't have to pay for a car, even better, right? How many of you will add to cart just to get free shipping, even if that meant you have to spend $38 more? Right? It's the same way your brain works. If you can get a car or a car payment or a lifestyle bonus for something in your life that is sucking your bank account dry, why would you not make that a goal and like create urgency around it and talk about it every day? I talked about that Plexus Lexus like the clouds in the sky every single day. It was in my newsfeed. What kind of Lexus should I get? What color should I get? Oh, I just found out I'm only allowed to get a white one. Oh, this is part of this and this, and like, oh, look how close we are to this goal. We have 100 people out of the 300 needed to hit this goal. And then my team rallied with me. I felt like a little selfish because I was like, wait, did it? But then they were like, wait, if she can dream that big, I can dream that big too. So the things I was posting on social media weren't just about my goals and dreams. It was actually encouraging, inspiring other people who are actually worse off than me. The first time we got to Diamond as a team, for me, I had 3 senior rubies, 2 rubies, more golds and senior golds than I can count on fingers and toes in my levels 1 through 4. When someone signed up in Plexus with me, it was not a thanks for your order, bye. It was, you need to get to gold. you need to get to gold. You're going to earn over $500 to get to gold. And we know now that if people can fast start gold, they'll make over $1,000. And it wasn't like sign up 20 people right now. It wasn't like that. It was how many people can you help get to gold? Because if you help them get to gold, you'll get to gold, right? That we didn't talk about silver. Senior silver didn't exist back then. It's like a new rank that has shown up in the last 5 years. So when I think back to that and the problem solving aspect of what problems am I solving for people, 90% of them were financial. I worked with a lot of military spouses or, young couples. And if I wouldn't have boldly said, I'm getting a Plexus Lexus, I'm going to do, and yes, you're going to be mocked and ridiculed and people are going to be like, are you though? Really? It's not their vision, right? You were called to lead people to wellness and happiness, but it was not a conference call, right? The Lord didn't call everybody. They called you. And now you get to work with like-minded people. And the next word that I wrote down was accountability. You want to get good at posting on social media? Partner up. Hey, Shannon, me and you are going to post Monday, Wednesday, and Friday about beep, like whatever, fill that in. I don't know. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, gut health and plexus. Sometimes you just got to map it out like a teacher would, you can't just overwhelm yourself and just, go crazy, but you can make a plan and then work the plan. You're solving a problem for who, right? So, somebody said, Shannon, I'll answer that in just a second. So, who was my blended family person? Who was that? Marianne. So Marianne, you're talking to other blended families. That's your who. Your why. To inspire them, to encourage them, to educate them. Like what is your purpose of, why do you want to talk about a blended family? Did something happen and y'all overcame it? Like only you can answer that question, but why do you want that to be your passion topic, right? And then objection. So say they want to use Plexus as their stepping stone to make life easier, find more financially better, whatever that looks like. Maybe one of the kids in the blended family really needs gut health products, whatever that looks like. What objections may they have? Well, why can't I just use ibuprofen? Why can't we just eat yogurt or whatever? We get weird objections all the time. So knowing those objections and kind of thinking and sitting in them for a minute, what might they bring up? How can I be prepared so that when they do come up, you can confidently address it? And then lastly, is what I'm sharing relatable or shareable? Is one blended family going to want to share that with another blended family because I helped them see this, right? Whatever your passionate topic is, okay? All right. Now, someone said advice for getting momentum again after sharing for 5 years. More conversations. You're posting too much and not talking enough. You can talk to the internet all day long, but unless you are boldly asking someone to partner with you in this wellness brand, there's not going to be momentum. You can't do it by yourself. You need to do it with others, accountability partners. Business builders are created. They are not found. If you want someone to build this business with you, you boldly start there. Hey, Christy, I love how confident you are at the gym. And I want to learn from you. And I use these products that help me feel better before my workout and after. I would love to tell you more about them. Are you interested in making extra income right now? Christy's like, yeah, not right now, but I am curious about what you use before your workout. That's my in. She may not think she wants to make extra income, but me and Christy about to be besties. She has no idea. So I'm going to be in Christy's inbox or to get her phone number or engage with her on social media. And I'm going to build that relationship. I'm not going to froth at the mouth and drool all over her and be like, you need Plexus, but I am going to continue to bring it up because I am confident in what I offer. There's a big difference. How do you create business builders? What is one thing you would tell us? You have to have a system in place. So yeah, you posted the content. So many of you, how many of you are so used to getting no's that if you got a yes, you would be like, now what do I do? Anybody? Okay. That was me for a really long time because I would come up with this great social media content and I'd be like, comment work if you want to work with me. And then it'd be like, work. And people would start commenting and I'm like, oh, they want to do this? cool. Now what do I do? You have to have a system and a plan in place. We call them systems because they have to duplicate. So how many of you think or know that you are a great recruiter? You enroll VIPs every month. Or Brandy knows at the top of her head. She's like, I have a couple of them, right? And then how many of you struggle with that? You can raise your hands. I can see you. You struggle with that because you're not boldly having conversations leading with the business. You want people to do business with you? Talk about the business. Talk about the Plexus Lexus. Talk about Emerald Extravaganza. Talk about luxurious trips and things that your brain can't even comprehend, but they're available to you because Plexus has allowed them to be available to you. Got to talk about the business. You got to talk about money. Money is not weird. We need it to pay our bills. We need it to live. You need money. Don't make it weird, right? Genevieve says that all the time. Don't be weird. Don't make it weird. Do you message every person who likes or comments on your post? Yes. A lot of the time, my team or other Plexus people will comment, and sometimes people do it just to support me, and I'll go message them. They're like, hey, I actually use Plexus already. Love your stuff, right? Sometimes that'll happen. For you guys, if someone likes your stuff and you're not looking at your data, right? That's your data. Likes, comments, looking to see who's looking at your stories. That's data for you to be like, oh, why are you looking? You interested? Like it gives you an in. Hey, Shannon, I saw that you liked my post. Thank you so much. What I do is so unique, but having your support means the world to me. Have you ever tried Plexus? Hey, you've liked my post for a while now. I don't even know if I've asked you this. Have you ever tried it before? Are you looking for a way to bring in an extra $300, $500 right now? I have a proven system that works. The proven system, the Sunday night business opportunity calls. Melissa Eichenhorst started them, and now all the diamonds are rowing the boat in the same direction. And if you are not getting on for 15 minutes with one person a week, whether they're an existing VIP or a newbie, a potential, what are you doing? These Zooms are 15 minutes long and they're phenomenal. And it literally walks people through 3 different perspectives, different ages, different ranks. Hey, here's how I made $1,000 last month. Here's how I made a $300 bonus. Here's how I went silver. And then they give them a phone number that they can text this number, text EARN, EARN to this number. And over the next 6 days, we're going to walk you through your next steps. How long have you guys been in Plexus? For a while, right? Majority of them for a while, Brandy? Okay, same, 10 years in July. If I had someone texting me every day for 6 days telling me exactly what to do, there would have been so many times I would have been like, I went Emerald in 8 months, and that was like, ooh, crazy. Like everybody like lost their mind. But I'm like, there are people who have done it in 2 months and 4 months and just like crazy things. And that's all, like, there's no reason why you can't do that either. I don't know when or why the Plexus culture shifted that it's not a race and like take your time and you're going to grow through what you go through or whatever. You can create momentum, you can create urgency, but you have to have a system in place. So that would look like this. I'm going to boldly message 10 people every day until March 30th, 31st. I don't know how many days are in March. Ooh, scary. Some of you are like, log off, log off. I'm not doing it. Freaking out right now. You can do it. The only difference between your rank and mine is I've heard the word no way more than you. Way more than you, man. Like, oh my gosh. And so what's even funnier is the people that told me no 8 years ago are gold ambassadors on my team right now. And I'm like, I knew you'd come around, right? Like, I'm very proud of myself in the consistency of showing up, even as a diamond, right? I could tap out, I could take a break, I could coast, I could enjoy some things. I'm too passionate to do that. I like social media. I like connecting with new people, right? A lot of people don't know what Plexus is. Even in my own town, I'm like, you don't know what? I'm in Texas now, by the way. I'm not in Virginia anymore. But so who's up for the challenge? Who wants to do a 30 days of gut health challenge? Brandy, do y'all use boards? Do y'all have the boards app? Great. I'm going to send this board to Brandy. I normally, and don't hate me for saying this because I took a lot of work to make this board, but I have 40 posts about healthy living and gut health, right? I told you about the other, and I usually charge diamonds $50 if they want it, because I'm like, these are my thoughts, or you do not have to pay me. I'm just telling you.
I got
I
you.
usually am like real sassy about this because I'm very proud of it. These are ideas and things that I went all the way back to July 4th of 2014. 10 years ago, I went through every single thing I'd ever posted about Plexus, my rank ups, my team. Like, I just had to go through it all. It took me 3 days. And like, I'm talking phone on do not disturb, blinders on, like, I'm going to make this content. The girls on my team who commit to this and do the full 30 days, they either earn the company incentive for the month or they rank up. I'm shouting them out. Look at you committing to the process, doing the work, right? They're doing the did. If you want to do what I do, you got to do the did, because I did that. And now you get to do what I do because you did that, right? That's what John Maxwell said at our convention. So my girls are doing the dids, things that I did to get where I am now. Their teams are like, why is she getting shouted out all the time, right? Recognition all day. Your love language might not be words of affirmations. Well, now it is, because I'm proud of you. You're about to post for the next 30 days. You're about to show up for the next 30 days. You're going to rank up in the next 30 days. You're going to sign up new VIPs in the next 30 days. It's going to be a totally different March. You have no idea what's in store for you. Me and Brandy do. Diamond perks. But this is going to help you with consistency, creativity. This is going to help you get out of your comfortable, snuggy box. We're about to bust loose, and we're going to educate people. We're going to add value. We're going to get authentic and genuine and be like, so listen, the first time I drank my pink drink, I spit it out. Here's why. I was drinking Diet Coke, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I refused to drink water, and my husband and I actually got in fights about it. I had this conversation last night with my 10-year-old because I was asking him to eat a red bell pepper, and you would have thought I asked him to roll around in a fire pit. He was like, I can't do it. I was like, it's literally, it was like a sliver of a bell pepper. I was like, it's not spicy. It's actually sweet and kind of crunchy. It's like a sassy carrot. You're going to love it. And he's like, no. And me and my husband are looking at each other, like trying to get creative. And I was like, can I tell you a story? Let me just tell you a story. When I was 24, pregnant with you, I refused to drink water, and it put me into preterm labor 3 times. My doctor literally was like, I'm running out of saline and water to hydrate you because you've already been in. The girl, you got to have this baby early if you do not start drinking water or electrolytes or something. And I was like, but it's so boring. And he was like, you 24-year-old, I need you to stay hydrated or your baby's going to come out. And I was like, fine. So the whole drive home, my husband's like, do you want that baby to come out? I'm about to deploy to Afghanistan. You are stressing me out. I need you to drink water. Will you please drink water? And I was like, can we stop by McDonald's and get a Diet Coke? And he was like, woman, what is wrong with you? Right? I told my son this story last night to show him. I was like, people change. Your taste buds can change. We have such crazy habits. We don't even realize we do them. And I said, you are so used to Chick-fil-A and the drive-through because lazy parenting. Like, let me just say, it is what it is. We're in a season of life where Chick-fil-A is right here, 2 minutes down the road. And my son was like, huh. And so you know what I asked him? And I say this with you, I know this is a long-winded story, but I say this with you because perspective is everything. And until I had this moment with my kid last night, it was just like light bulbs went off in his head. I said, Sterling, how many ingredients do you think are in the Chick-fil-A sandwich that you wanted for dinner tonight? And he was like 4. Chicken, bread, butter, and like the stuff for seasoning. And I was like, no, bro, there's over 100 ingredients in that sandwich. And he was like, why? I'm like, great question. Which of course we ended up going down the rabbit hole of ingredients last night, but it started with the story of mommy never drank water either. I know you want sweet tea. I know you want Gatorade. I know you want Dr. Pepper. Here's why we shouldn't do that. And so anyways, it ended up being such a great moment in parenting where like you think you suck up most of the time. And then you have that one night where you're like, parent win, right? That's what you're doing to your audience. You're having a winning moment. Like, look how addicted I was to Little Debbie. And now I'm drinking a lean shake. this is adulting with Plexus, like shout yourself out, but also add value in the sense of maybe you want something sweet, but you want a healthier alternative. Here's what I'm doing. Snickerdoodle protein with almond milk, vanilla almond milk. It tastes like an oatmeal cream pie. You are welcome for that little nugget because it's delicious. But seriously, these next 30 days, I'm going to send the board to Brandy. There's 30 to 40 different types of posts. Some of them you're gonna have to fill in the blank because I can't tell your story for you. And some of them are ideas so that you can think about the idea and like how that applies to you and your audience. And then right past all that are tons and tons of graphics of just Plexus products, sunshine, wellness, like all the things, right? Okay. So you're going to post that. And here's the thing about social media, you guys, that's just one piece. You can post and create curiosity and get people to pay attention to what you're doing. And like, you think you're being annoying, you're not. The algorithm changes so much every hour that you could post 3 times all at once and entirely different people would see it based off of the words in your post alone. So if you do follow me and you're like, did she seriously post 6 reels in one day? Yes, I did. And guess what? All y'all gonna see them at different times because of how the algorithm works. But that was the only day I had time to create content and post it. Got it done on a Monday. The rest of the week, I'm engaging. I'm boldly being direct in my inbox. I'm talking to girls and moms that I want on my team that I want to work with. Like I'm building them up. Like this is what I see in you. This is what I love about you. If you apply that in Plexus, you would make so much money, right? Because I'm intentionally leading with what I see in them, and then I'm going to follow up with information. Follow up with how to make money. Follow up with, hey, here's the system that we use. On Sundays, we do this call. Then you're going to text this number. It's going to walk you through your first 6 days. I'm here with you the whole time. I'll even do it with you myself. And some of you could probably use a refresher. I sent the text to that number. And do you have it, Brandy? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. I texted it just for curiosity's sake, like maybe I need some accountability. And it was like the best 6 days. Just a little refresher course on what I should be doing in my business.
It was really good.
Yeah, it's so good. Be consistent, show up every day. You can show up at any time you want, 10 p.m., 10 a.m., 6 a.m., 6, whatever. Figure out when your people are online and who starts interacting. And then of course, there's 24 of you right here. Y'all could do a business chat. Starts March 1st. The board will be pinned at the top of the chat, Brandy. All 24 of y'all are going to be in that chat together. And you're like, hey, here's the board. Pick something. There's 40 things to pick from. You don't have to go in order. It is numbered because I have OCD and it makes me happy and life is better that way for me. It's numbered and I like that because I can just go through, but you don't have to go in order. You can pick whatever you want out of the 40 days. Just post for the next 30 days. Be consistent. And then what is your reward? You're going to be consistent on social media the whole 31 days of March. I don't know how many days are. And then on the 31st, what are y'all going to do? Think about it. In school, our teachers would have us do this lesson plan the whole month. At the end of the month, we have an ice cream party. So what are y'all going to do as a team? There's different things that different teams in Plexus do. Like one diamond does sushi at the end of the month with her team. Another diamond, they all put the pajamas on and they sip on like tea or wine, whatever kind of day you had. I don't know. And they like celebrate month end together. But think about something that y'all can all do together to celebrate being consistent for the next 30 days. All right. And then accountability. Okay. Maybe use a hashtag. So my hashtag that you will see in those is hashtag simply gut health. You're welcome to use it. I don't check it anymore. I ran a challenge with this last year and that's how I checked. Everything should be public when you're posting about Plexus. Do not do friends only. You're not going to reach people friends only. Public. The hashtag simply gut health will allow for accountability because then Jessica can be like, yo, Brandy, you didn't post today. I don't see your simply gut health on here. Or Jill can be like, yo, Melissa, where's your post? Carolyn, where's your post? And you do it lovingly, of course, put your eyebrows down. Don't be ugly, but you're like, listen, I want you to be better. I want you to show up. And if we do, our teams do. If we do, our VIPs desire to, because it's paying the bills, right? Okay. Next, or lastly, that action versus avoidance. Remember, avoiding is still an action. If you are avoiding it, it's because you lack clarity in it. What are you afraid of? What do you not know? What do you need more information on? Is it the product? Is it the comp plan? You know, something that I like to do in these types of chats when we do a little challenge like this, because you guys showed up. Those that show up, go up, right? That's what they all say. So y'all are going to show up. You're going to do this chat. So maybe do little 1-day challenges, Brandy, where you're like, hey guys, I want you to go read the compensation plan PDF. It's in Plexus Go. You're going to go on a little scavenger hunt to find it under your business resources. I want you to pull it up and I want you to go tell me one thing you didn't realize about the comp plan and come back here. There are some things that I'm like, man, I'm like snacking on this comp plan. I'm not getting the full course meal. I'm just snacking. There are some things I could really, one of the things that was said to me as a new diamond, because I would do contests for my team and I would only do levels 1 through 4. And this one diamond was like, no, ma'am, do levels 1 through 7. We're paid on 1 through 7. I said, well, why? I said, I only get 1 point for them. She said, yeah, but one day you're going to have 2,000 level 7s and that's 2,000 points. And my brain was like, that is, you are forward thinking, you're expanding, you're not limiting what can happen for you in this Plexus business. You are praying and you are being consistent and you're welcoming everybody in, but you're doing the same thing with everyone. I don't care if you're 88, your grandma, and she's like, I'm not working this business. Like, grandma, we all post this for 30 days. These are your gut health posts. We're going to post. I don't care if you got 6 Facebook friends, grandma. This is what I do with every person that comes into my business, grandma. You go and post this. And you help grandma post for the next 30 days. Stop picking and choosing who this business is for. Stop it. Knock it off. Do the same thing with everyone. And the biggest thing is social media. I mean, not social media, getting on the phone. So after they've met you through social media, after they've said yes, they trust you, you get their buy-in, the order confirmation comes through. You're like, oh my gosh, Teresa, what's your phone number? I want to call you when your products arrive. And then you're going to walk through with them like, hey, so tell me what you do again. Ask 4 questions. What do you do? Why did you really order from me? Or like, what are you struggling with? Where do you see yourself in 90 days? Because if you're consistent with Plexus for the next 90 days, here's what I see for you. Oh, and by the way, did you know we have a referral program that if you're already thinking of friends you want to share this with, you can earn product credit or cash for every referral? Did that sound scary? You could be honest. It's not scary. If you make it a habit and you get on the phone with everyone, it's not weird. You get more confident. And here's the thing. I know I've said that like 40 times, but this is the thing. We are a gut health company. We are not a weight loss company, for the love of God. We are a gut health company. If you are struggling in your mindset that you are not worthy to rank up and go up and show up on social because you are not A, B, or C in whatever category of health, stop it. We are a gut health company, and that is not external, that is internal. And it starts in the space between your ears. You are awesome, and you can still add value on your journey. Health right now, and you showing up on this Zoom, I'm sure looked a lot different a year ago for you. Thank you, Plexus. I'm sure it looked a lot different for you 10 years ago. I mean, hello, I literally never drank water. Now I'm like Googling how to make my water cleaner so I can get more of it. And my kids are like, you're so weird. I'm like, I know. But seriously, we got to grow and get uncomfortable and be a little ridiculous every now and then to reach those goals, to step out of that stupid comfort zone. Your brain is wired to protect you. Of course you're uncomfortable. Of course you're like, I don't want to message that girl. She intimidates me. Does she intimidate you? Or are you ready to intimidate her with your potential and your knowledge and your value? Like, think about your next step. Be super clear on what you want to say, how you want to say it, and why you're saying it. And then say it. Be so proud of yourself. What we do is hard work, but it is worth it work. Sitting in the beaches in the DR, I'm like, one, I would never be here if it weren't for Plexus. Like that just wasn't a vacation spot in my brain. Like, you know, I grew up very poor on food stamps and WIC. Like if you watched the Super Saturday training, I said we were so poor we couldn't afford the other OR. We were po. And I carried that mindset with me into my Plexus business for far too long instead of investing in things and leveling up my leadership and getting a coach or a mentor or whatever. And now I see that sometimes I do it to my own kids and I'm like, oh, we can't afford that. We don't do that. Whatever. We can afford it and we can do it. I just don't want to, or I don't see the value in it. And there's a difference in value and cost. So you are giving people so much value, but the cost will be worth the value because in the long run, they're getting more bang for their buck and doing a gut health system with you versus 10 years down the road, they're living on 14 prescriptions. Right? So be so proud of what you offer people. Know that people are looking for it and praying for it every day. And they might say no for a while because they lack clarity. They don't know enough. You need to ask more questions. Maybe ask some more questions in your new social media posts, but be proud of the work that you're doing. Keep showing up. I'm excited for y'all to do this 30 days of gut health posting just to spice it up a little bit. You can even throw in business posts. I think there are some business posts in there too. But I'm going to do one more little challenge, Brandy. So y'all are going to do the 30 days of gut health, but on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, because Christy said, challenge me, Emily. I want y'all to boldly message people you admire on your friends list or in your community, at least 3, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You might throw up. It's fine. Been there, done that. You might get a little clammy. You might want to log off the second you hit send. But had that girl that messaged me not messaged me in that moment, I would have never changed my life or her life. I was her first jewel, her first business builder, right? And so, but she had no idea I needed a car. She had no idea that we were living credit card to credit card. Like she just didn't know. You don't know either. You don't know what their last doctor's appointment was like, right? How many of you work a 9 to 5 right now? Any of you? If you don't clock in, whoop, Siri ain't talking to you. If you don't clock in at work, you don't get paid. In your Plexus business, part of social media content, part of these bold asks are clocking in. So do your job and then clock out and go for a walk, maybe take some deep breaths because it's going to stress some of you out this in the next 30 days. You're getting uncomfortable, but it is worth it work. It is hard, but simple work that is worth it. All right. Brandy, thank you for inviting me to do this with y'all. This was really fun. I know it's like a lot of information all at once and I'll get that board to you, but I'm trying to look,
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
you're so welcome.
I have pages of notes. I'm sure everybody else does too. Trying to see if there was any other question.
So the boards app, you should be able to have 3 boards before you have to pay for it. I'm pretty sure that was the newest update. You're allowed to have 3 boards. So remove a board because if you're not using it consistently, then remove a board and then you can add this one and then swap them out. But I want to say it's like $2.99 a month. It's a $3 investment for your business.
Y'all, it's so worth it
It's gonna be worth it. Okay.
every day.
March 31st is Easter Sunday. Oh, well, beautiful. Y'all can celebrate Resurrection Sunday on March 31st and then party on April 1st. I don't know. But have something, a reward of some kind. For those of you that work in increments, you know, what's your daily goal, your weekly goal, your monthly goal. This is a team goal or accountability partner goal. So, you know, April 1st, what are you going to do? If you enroll 3 VIPs, 6 VIPs, you're earning convention credits, you're earning extra bonuses in cash. Are you going to pay off a bill entirely? Are you going to buy the new shoes you've had your eyes on? Are you going to buy yourself some new running shoes to hit your fitness goals? Like, what does that look like? Are you going to buy the $8.99 cup at Hobby Lobby that I posted about yesterday that broke the internet? Whatever you're going to spend your money on, celebrate it and put that in the chat. Brandy, ask them like, okay, once we finish and hit this 30-day goal, what are you going to do? And then you can pin those comments in the chat to reflect on at the end. Super fun. All
Awesome.
right.
Well, thank you so much, Emily. Does anybody else have like any last like question.
Anybody? I'm looking for that board now. I don't know if I can. Let me see if it'll let me. I'm gonna copy it here and try to post on my computer. I think my Apple products are weird, so let's see. I'm gonna hit copy. Let me see if it'll let me paste. It's thinking.
I feel
Pasting.
like it wouldn't take links before. I don't know.
I think it worked. Y'all see it in the chat?
Okay, it did. Woohoo. Okay, everybody's.
The
real quick.
admiration post is a direct message. It's not a post. You're going to go to that person, send a voice message or a text message. If you can call or text, choose that over Facebook Messenger all day. But you're like, listen, Linda, Katie, Matthew, whatever their name, whoever you're talking to, I just want you to know I admire you and this is what I see in you. And that is the type of people I want to work with and build generational wealth with. Have you ever thought about making extra income? Or do you need to make extra income right now? You know, use the Exactly What to Say book by Phil M. Jones, because he'll tell you exactly what to say to nail down that conversation. Wonderful. Anybody
Okay.
else?
I got it. So I can, if y'all didn't get it, I can send it to you guys and put it in our new chat. All right. Thank you so much, Emily. I really appreciate it. And we got the recording. So if anybody on your teams needs this, I will be posting it. So have a great day, guys. Thank you.